The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. Our passion transforms a community that sees all things new. I am Nato Agbayani, streaming from Cebu City.
Streaming from Mandawi City, Edward Ligas. Mayong gabi kanatong tanan para sa bayan.
You're watching Para sa Bayan, Season 1, Episode 5. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Para sa Bayan with POLPHIL. We have with us today, of course, our co-host by Edward Ligas. Yeah, of course, we also have our very special guest today coming from the Bangsamoro region, Attorney Jamar Kulayan.
Good evening po.
Welcome, Attorney.
Welcome, Attorney.
Good morning. Assalamualaikum. Mayong gabi sa inyong tanan po there.
Alaikum assalam. Thank you. Thank you, Attorney, for taking our invitation. Finally, we have you as our guest, no? So,
It's an honor, sir.
Yeah. Kami naman dito sa Para sa Bayan with POLPHIL, we really want to create a community, a learning community, no? Lalo na ngayon, Taglish man tayo, so Edward will also speak in Cebuano para sa ating mga Bismin friends, no? So Attorney, first of all, we'd like to siguro I will introduce you as the former Department of Education Secretary of the Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, no? So as we may all know, maybe later Attorney Jamar can tell us more about the transition that's going on. For those of us who are not very familiar with the transition which is now going to from ARM to nagkaroon pa ng transition, di ba? Tama, Attorney? During the Pinoy time and then itong time ni PRRD and then now it's going to be BARM. And of course, you would know more about that than us. So, sige, Attorney, we will ask you, what was your work before? How was it to work with ARM as the Secretary of Education?
I used to work actually under my first stint in the ARM was under the leadership of Governor Paro Cusin when he was elected governor immediately after the ratification of the Republic Act 1954, which is the second organic act of the ARM. No? I served in his cabinet as the cabinet secretary. Then during the presidency of Pinoy, as you mentioned, when Governor Mujib Hataman was appointed as regional governor, we acted as a transition government. So I was appointed first as his chief of staff, and less than a month thereafter, I was appointed as the secretary of the Department of Education.
So, ang BARM or ang ARM at that time was like how many learners were under your care?
Marami. I think dati we have around 250,000. The teachers, we have 26,000.
26,000 teachers and
Yes.
then 2,500 po na
No, we have
learners.
around, we have around nearly 1 million yata school learners from kindergarten to high school.
So, ito yung 5 provinces at that time. Tama po ba?
Ito yung 5 provinces and
Yes.
2 cities.
And 2
The city
cities.
of Lamitan and the city of Marawi.
Oo. How much resources was put into this attorney?
Ang
Ganong karaming resources?
dati kasi the budget of the ARM was only around 6 to 8 billion, no? And around siguro 60 to 70% of that was under the Department of Education, used for payment of teacher salaries, no? Because we were even until now, the Department of Education is the biggest department in the BARM. So, karamihan talaga ng budget ng ARM noon ay nasa Department of Education.
Okay. Sa palagay nyo at that time, sufficient yung resources or talagang just like
Generally hindi eh. Kaya nga
Hindi
walang
talaga.
na-accomplish talaga yung ARM for the past 20 years. Kasi yung budget ng ARM noon ay nakakaps eh. Nakakaps ka from BBM. So, every year, binibigyan lang kami ng parang 10% increment, no? And we have to defend it into the DBM, we have to defend it in Congress while we were where we are proposing such an amount, no? But even at that time, we can only propose as much because of the 10% increment. Kaya wala kami masyadong development projects noon. It was only during the
MOE. Mostly MOE.
MOE and PS lang. Tapos
Yes.
yung programs ng national government, yun lang ini-implement ng ARM. It's like parang regional, yung office ko, parang regional office lang ng Department of
Ng
Education.
DepEd. Kumbaga, in the case of like other cities or municipalities,
We have the
parang
regional director.
regional director for and then you're just simply implementing the parang some form of devolved function sa
Exactly.
ARM, no?
Exactly.
Okay.
But in our case naman, because of the international interventions, no, from different governments and even NGOs. So meron kaming mga innovative solutions na naumpisahan tapos in-implement na sa national. So ito lang yung like yung allied education, yung Arabic learning and Islamic values education, no? Inaumpisahan sa ARM noon, ini-implement na yan in communities or areas where there is a good number of Muslim students.
In terms of by Edward, kamo mag-ask ang questions, no?
Yeah. So siguro
sige.
Attorney Jamar, from ARM to BARM, what are the challenges no yung nakita doon sa Department of Education? Ikaw yung secretary, pareho ba sa ibang tulad din sa ibang hindi sa BARM o sa ARM yung mga challenges o problema na nakita doon? Yung mga problema, school buildings, kompleto ba yung sa BARM? Kung kompleto na ba?
Nung pagpasok namin diyan, nung transition government namin ni Governor Mujib noon, ay malaki talaga yung problema ng ARM noon, no? Lacking kami in school building, lacking in school furnitures, wala kaming mga wash facilities, I mean, napakakonti. Tapos wala ka rin mga, yung mga school supplies, no? At ang pinakamalaking problema namin doon is yung mababa yung motivation ng teachers dahil they have umabot yung utang namin sa GSIS ng 2 billion.
Okay.
Dahil sa hindi pagre-remit ng mga previous administration, tapos hindi update. So nagpatong-patong yung mga interest penalties. Umabot talaga yung 2 billion yung liabilities. So, yun yung pinakamalaking problema noon.
Na-corrected na ba siya ngayon?
Nung panahon namin, Nina Mujib, sa tulong naman ni Secretary Abad and of course Pinoy, pumayag yung national government, no? They took the cudgel of paying the 2 billion obligation of the armed teachers to the GSIS. So in a way, mayroon din kaming benefit doon kasi bago kami nagkabayaran, nagkaroon kami ng updating of records, no? Yung records ng mga teachers na na-update. Ang benefit nila doon, yung halimbawa, like nag-retired ka before the payment, naibalik, nakakuha sila ng kanilang mga additional pensions. Tapos yung mga nag-retired na bago, kasi pag may utang ka kasi sa GSIS, miniminos yun sa retirement mo eh. So, nung nagbayad na yung government, parang naka-reimburse sila ng konti.
How much is the annual budget of education under your department?
Under my department, umabot kami dati ng mga nearly 3 billion.
Is this more than enough or kulang talaga?
Noong panahon na yun, I think tamang-tama lang din. Pero kasi tamang-tama in a sense na nung panahon namin, yung school building program ay nasa national government, no? So yung panahon namin, we need teachers training. So ang teachers training namin doon is charge namin sa ibang sa MOE namin or yung mga may grant kami from Australian government eh. Umabot yata nung around 8 billion pesos ba yun yung budget ng USAID, no? So yun yung nagagamit namin, yung budget ng USAID. Nagagamit namin for teachers training, monitoring, assessment ng students. So yung parang yung capacity building ay hindi inako ng government. It's the NGO or it's the grant from the Australian government that we use.
So malaking tulong din ang NGO mismo sa pagtulong no sa edukasyon sa BARN mismo.
Opo, kasi yung Australian fund, yung anong tawag doon, BIM-ARM yun, no? Bangsamoro Education, kalimutan ko ito. Pero it's in BIM-ARM, I forgot the meaning of the acronym. Pero ang components kasi noon is school repairs, school building construction, wash facilities, health and sanitation, tapos out of school training. We took the opportunity ng panahon na yon, nagkaroon kami ng pinakaunang maipagmamalaki namin ni na Governor Mujib dito, yung both schools for the Badyaw. Kasi alam naman natin, yung mga Badyaw hindi nag-aaral because of the systemic parang discrimination, no? Even in our communities na pare-pareho lang naman kami ng Bangsamoro. Pero unfortunately, meron talagang nangyayari talaga to. So, nadi-discriminate sila. So, ang ginawa namin, chinarge namin doon, kinausap ko yung BIM-ARM na maglaan ng pera para doon sa both schools where the Badyaws can attend to school in a boat within the community. Hindi nila kailangan makihalubilo sa ibang tribo.
Despite of poverty, yung mga learners na inganyo ba silang mag-aral dahil alam natin na medyo mahirap yung yung mga iba tipo lang places na o sa BARN, no? Despite sa poverty, na-encourage ba yung mga learners na mag-aral?
Ano naman, despite the poverty nga, although of course, it is always blamed on poverty. Pero there are really, it's a matter of inspiring the students. Eh. So that's why when we were roaming around, I could say that I don't know, but maybe I am the former secretary who went through many schools. And I always tell the students that me and Governor Mujib did that. We're not born in with a silver platter. Eh. So sabi ko, we are from a poor family. We reached this far because of education. So it was our way of motivating students to focus on their education.
Mm.
Thank you, Attorney. Ikaw naman.
Oo.
Bye.
Ang feeling ko, no, of course, well, statistically, one of the poorest regions in the country is also ARM, no, yung former ARM. And then, of course, education is one way. It's one methodology of really helping out poverty. Pero sa tingin mo, Attorney Jamar, ano yung mga key problems na that's why there is still underdevelopment in the region? And then ano sa tingin mo yung mga possible solutions ba dito sa mga issue of yung talagang marginalization din ng mga Badyaw, and then so many issues, 'di ba? Ano sa tingin mo, Attorney, ang solution? I mean, to put it simply, ano sa tingin mo yung mga possible solutions, or maybe simplified, no? Ma-articulate mo yung five five solutions to the problems of poverty in the area.
Unang-una talaga is improvement no in the education delivery. No? Ang statistics will show na if you a child from whose parents are both illiterate or did not finish any schooling, tapos poor pa, then you go to a school na hindi naman gaano maganda yung academic output nila. Talagang yung trajectory ng students na yon is most likely he will also fail and he will not be able to finish his schooling. Ang iniisip kong magandang gawin is pagtuunan talaga ng pansin, no? Even scholarship maybe not just for the performing student, hindi lang para doon sa mga matatalino, pero doon sa mga nagkukumahog sa eskwelahan, as long as they want to go to school, they're determined to go to school, I think they should be given a scholarship, some kind of allowances for them. Na una. Pangalawa, ang aming problema dito is, nakikita ko is, siguro yung natural tendency ng human being, no? Karamihan sa amin, hindi na, kung anak ka ng farmer, parang ayaw mo nang maging farmer, no? So, ang nangyayari, yung matatalino sa amin, kumukuha na ng law, engineering, nursing. So, yung naiiwan, yung sabi ko nga, I was been saying this when I was still the secretary, there are 30 graduates, high school graduates from our school in ARM. The first 1 to 10 maybe will proceed to engineering, nursing, and others. Pero yung remaining, the last 21 to 30 na maiiwan, either they will not go to proceed college anymore, or they will just avail of whatever course being offered, no, in their hometown. So nangyayari, ang the most course offered in almost in every town we have is either education, secretarial, or mga computers for now, no? So parang ang napoproduce ng teacher is hindi na kalidad.
Mm-hmm. So pero in terms of sabi nila yung pag-match ng learning needs, kung ba development wise, ano ba talaga yung like tracks or education tracks na dapat medyo nagbo-border na on from DepEd to TESDA to CHED, no? Ano ba yung sa tingin mo, Attorney, na yung tracks na talagang kailangan ng natin ng ARM or ng BARM as a skill, yung skills, yung needs na skills ba, aside from of course the regular teaching, a little engineering, para makalaya dun sa ano no, dun sa situation ng dire poverty.
Nagkaroon kami ng still through the BIM-ARM program, nagkaroon kami ng market analysis. No?
Yes.
So, pinuntahan yung iba't ibang bayan kung ano yung kailangan nilang services, ano yung skill na magmamatch, ano yung raw materials na available sa kanila. So, for example, in Tawi-Tawi, they have access due to their access to the sea. So, marami silang seafood products. So, kailangan namin nung fish, yung preservation ng fish, no? To add value to their products. Ganun. Sa Sulu naman, they have several malaki, parang the food basket siguro yan at bar, no? So, yung paggawa ng mga food jams siguro, ganyan. Ginawa namin to, pero kalaunan, hindi rin siya talagang because the students really have their mind of their own naman, that we cannot compel them to think and to pursue another or different course, no, the way that we like them to be. All we can do is to tell them that ito sana yung maganda for everybody, but then it's still the student who will decide if he will go for that or not.
Okay. Edward, nakabang questions or
Yung sa ano, yung pagkatapos nila, sinabi mo siguro 1 to 10 sa iba't ibang courses, no, engineering, nursing or maybe law. Yung iba naman, hindi ba nagka-problema ang bar na tulad sa dito sa Visayas at Mindanao na kaunti na lang yung kumukuha ng mga agricultural courses dahil karamihan kung hindi man sila kumuha ng 4-year course, doon sila sa TESDA nagti-training, pero yung sa agriculture at saka yung sa fishing, kung paano natin maipaunlad, no, o ma-develop yung area na yan, kaunti na lang ang nag-aaral. Sa barn, hindi ba nangyari yon?
Naku, ganun din sa amin, no? Kaya nga ako, parang nagsiselos ako na we are surprised na kami we conquered the waves, no? Kaya nga, also people of the current. Pero makikita mo in our country, yung ating scientists sa mga isda ganyan, fish preservation, fish culture, aquaculture. Ayan dyan sa Iloilo. And not here with us. Then we have our lands are very filthy, volcanic in origin, like sa Hulo. Pero ang expert diyan sa mga nagpo-produce ng mga agriculturists is andito naman sa Kabakan, no? So, or andyan sa Litilog Banyo. So, I think siguro ang naisip ko na lang is baka yung farmer, ayaw rin niya magkaroon ng anak na farmer din, kaya pinapupuso niya ng ibang course, thinking that it will give honor to the family. Yun siguro it will increase their economic status, their social status in the society. If they can produce other or professional, rather than just parang continuing the farmer or the farming tradition in their family.
Parang attorney, parang feeling ko napakaraming, I mean, in the Philippines, no, siguro maraming areas na ganyan, yung mga anak ayaw na mag-farming, no. Pero globally, maraming benchmarks na yung mga new generation na nagfa-farming using new technology, using best practices around the world na nagagawa naman, no. I think it's, and then yung sinasabi mo, bakit yung center ng marine science na sa Iloilo, bakit very very fertile yung soil ng BARM, and yet talagang marami pang kailangan gawin. I think I empathize with the BARM, no, kasi karamihan ng population natin na kaya nga nagpupunta dito sa Manila din, merong internal migration from BARM, is because of the lack of opportunities. It's like parang yung they look for opportunities elsewhere. So talagang there is a genuine need to develop yung mga systems, that everything we really need to put in more resources sa BARM, I think national government talagang kailangan, no, Edward,
Yeah.
magbato pa ng resources sa
At least ngayon, meron na kaming block grant. No? So, I think, nasa malaki na rin budget natin ngayon. Nasa mga, siguro, over 25 billion a month na, or 23 billion, is it? I forgot the exact number.
a month.
A year, no?
A year, okay.
Tapos, aside from that, meron pang yung Special Development Fund. That's around 5 billion naman per annum.
Sa education.
No, lahat na yun.
SCFA for entire
entire region, entire government. So I think the challenge of the BARM is really to tingnan kung ano yung kailangan gastusan, doon dapat i-gastos yung pera na yun.
I see. So, siguro, yes, Edward.
You said a while ago that the budget is okay naman, more than enough. How about the quality of education? How the students perform in examinations?
Nung panahon namin, I think even after, no, you may have worsened even, no? Ang performance talaga namin was the poorest, I think, in the country. No? It is due, kasi kaya nagkaroon kami ng ibang assessment test eh. May assessment yung national, tapos mayroon din kaming assessment on different grade level, no? Yung anong tawag namin dati doon. So para ma-compare, no, different grade levels yun. Pero talagang poor yung performance, hindi mo maintindihan yung result, hindi mo mahirap mong i-interpret. But at the very least talaga, yung pinakamatindi talaga doon is mahina talaga yung student ng BARM sa reasoning, no? Tapos mahirap din yung literacy nila, numerical literacy nila, mahirap din. Talagang mababa yung aming academic outcome.
Yeah. Yun. So anyway, thank you attorney, thank you Edward. Babalik tayo mamaya. We will discuss more on how we can really, kumbaga, ano yung framework na pwedeng gawin for BARM, for development, and also to discuss the transition siguro, attorney.
Okay.
Kasi this is like a learning show. We want people to learn from Para sa Bayan, for them to understand the transition from ARM to BARM, to the BBL, yung mga laws na yon. So para maintindihan. So with that, mga kasama, no, we will go into a break, sandali lang, and then we will have Attorney Jamar Kulayan again. So we'll be right back. back to Para sa Bayan. We'd
Yeah,
like to
welcome
invite.
back para sa bayan. Maying gabi diha. Pag-usab.
So we'd like to ask everyone to watch the other shows dito po sa the new channel. Andyan po yung The Town Hall, Money and More, TNC Marketplace, Mental Shift, COVID Stories, HR Hotline, Realty Realities, YOLO, Chill Charity Fridays, One Day, Win Within, Bruce and Bayan, U-Turn, Women at Work, Market Leader, Danny, The Talk, The Puppet Stories, Awesome Day, Cyber Next, Well Home, Healthline, After Shift, Couple Goals, Negosyo Home, The Family Business, Usapang Beauty, Tech You, The Fourth Project, Foreign Affairs, The Shift, TNC Arena, of course, TNC Express, The Frontline, the Presscon, Networking Live, ang dami, GFox, Fireside Talk, ang dami pa po. And of course, don't forget, every Saturday, 7 p.m., Para sa Bayan with the Political Officers League of the Philippines or POLPHIL. So, ayun. Boss Edward, we're back.
We're back.
Oo, nakita ko na yung poster ng event bukas.
ano na yun? Prepare na yung yung press statement para sa media
Oo.
bukas. Piniprint
Yun,
ko na lang. Dinagdagan ko
Sige.
lang kaunti.
Pasenda. Okay, so balik natin. Walang iba kundi ang ating guest mula sa ARMM or the new BARM. Walang iba kundi si Attorney Jamar Kulayan. So joining us tonight as our special guest. So welcome back, Attorney Jamar.
Thank
Okay.
you, Nato.
Bago tayo nag-break, sabi natin, pag-usapan natin yung paano ba nangyari from of course the conflict with the Bangsamoro, paano ba nagkaroon ng ARMM, paano nagkaroon ng transition at ngayon papasok tayo sa tinatawag na BARM region, no? So pakibigyan niyo lang kami ng konting explanation, Attorney, since you are the expert
Okay.
on the transition. Yes.
Briefly, the ARMM ang progeny niyan, ang predecessor niya is yung lupong LTP, lupong tagapamayapa yata, or meron tayong LTP 9 and LTP 12, no?
Yes.
So from that LTP, that was the product, I think, of the Tripoli Agreement. Na yung after the martial law, nung naupo si President Corazon Aquino, bumalik si Nomi Suari, nagkaroon tayo ngayon ng ARMM.
Yes.
So ARMM, unang umupo si Zakaria Candao, tapos later on hanggang si Misuari. Then yung transition ng panahon ni Pinoy, kami naman ni na Governor Mujib. Pero yung transition na yan, it is still within the ARMM, no?
Yes.
Parang we prepared the floor or the ground for the eventual coming of the ARMM. So that's why it was, I think, it was the smoothest transition from ARMM to the ARMM, in the sense that the team of Governor Mujib that time was really ready to hand over the government to the ARMM. Ang difference lang ngayon is, ang primary difference is number one, differences are number one, ngayon ang BARM is already a parliamentary government, no? Whereas national is presidential and yung ARMM noon is presidential. So ngayon, is a parliament, so the cabinet members are also members of the legislative, no? Ang pangalawa,
sorry, so may prime minister? Paano sistema?
Ang head of government namin is the chief minister.
Chief minister, okay.
For now, under the transition, we have the interim chief minister in the person of the chairman of the MILF, no? Chief Minister Alhaj Murad, and the rest of the members of the cabinet of the parliament are a combination, no? 50% MILF and the remaining even 51% or 41 rather from the MILF and the MNLF, and then 39 from the government side.
But ano yun? How do you reconcile kasi of course ito konting political aspect naman. Of course there are the traditional families, no?
Mm.
Traditional families who have run the territories for several hundred years na yata, di ba? Tapos, and then there are, of course, the groups, the MILF, the MNLF, and there are different tribes. And also, of course, there are Christians in some territories and also Lumads. How, um, how do you manage the transition, considering that there's so many political and ethnic groups involved?
Where in the Bangsamoro Organic Law, no,
Mm.
during this transition, there's a provision that of the 80%, uh, it will be MILF led in number as well as in leadership, no. So
Mm.
41 per 41 na pumunta agad sa kanila. In
Mm.
fairness to the MILF, mayroon din silang mga different sector representatives, no, na
Mm.
bilang puro member talaga, hardcore member ng MILF siguro. But
Mm.
there are personalities who are supportive of the MILF cause that are IPs, belonging to the IPs,
Indigenous people. Oh.
because some are, one of them I think is a Christian representing the settlers communities.
Mm.
Yung mga ganun, no? Then also, yung mga supported din sa kanila, they have yung mga anong tawag din dyan, provincial commanders nila from different provinces,
Mm.
represented din doon sa 41 nila.
Mm.
Actually, ang underrepresented lang ngayon talaga is yung Sama tribe. Because the Sama,
Okay.
we have about 500,000 Sama already nationwide. And
Mm.
here in the ARMM, siguro meron kaming mga 3 to 400. And yet, ang representation namin sa BPA is only one person only.
So,
Compared to the indigenous peoples, they only have 70 to 100,000. Pero mayroong tatlong IP representative sa BPA.
mga itong na-mention mong tribe, Sama,
Yes po.
opo. Predominantly, saan po ang mga settlements nila?
So ang Sama is, ano yan, Tawi-Tawi, no? I think in
Tawi-Tawi, okay.
Tawi-Tawi, 80% belong to the
Okay.
Sama tribe. No? In Sulu, siguro nasa mga 20 to 30% kami. No? In every municipality, there is a Sama. In
Okay.
Basilan, siguro mayroong 5 to 10% yan ng population.
Okay. Sige po. Edward,
Ah,
imong questions ba?
dahil may Barnat sa transition tayo, do you think for the past 2 decades, no, if I'm not mistaken, ARM is a failure, or what do you think?
It was adjudged to be a failure according to the administration. But I think it was President Pino himself who said that, in the sense that for the past 20 years, compared mo, if you are going to determine the budget allocated for the farm, for the ARMM, and the status of the of the region at that time, talaga masasabi mo it was a failure, no? But then, from our perspective, we failed because we did not have the enough budget for the purpose of improving ourselves. No? So with the barn, we have a block grant. Dahil nga pinus talaga nung MILF yung block grant na yan, para hindi na kami every year magmamalimos sa Congress na ganito yung kailangan namin. At least now, we have a leeway, no, on how to put or where to put our resources in the most important uh, and important matters.
Since that was a failure, what were the lessons learned, no, from that, from ARM, din transition tayo sa barn? So yung kailangan na parang hindi na maulit-uli no na failure yun. Dapat ito, wag na to, tapos ito yung dapat i-develop dahil positive yung resulta nito.
I think ang unang-unang talaga kailangan yan is putting the right people in the right places. No?
Right.
That's why nga, yung diniman ng MILF is for them to abolish, no? Talagang inabolish yung ARMM government, dinismiss yung 6,000 employees sa ARMM. Ang intention doon is for them to hire new individuals. Kasi sa tingin nila, yung mga nakaupo, karamihan sa mga nakaupo nun are not qualified to the position that they were holding. So ang ano lang ngayon, ang napapansin lang ngayon ng karamihan is parang na-perpetuate din yung nangyari dati. Kasi yung parang na-appoint ngayon ay hindi din qualified or mas qualified pa yung mga pinagtanggal nila. So parang in a sense, we did not learn from our
the lessons.
Dahil mayroon akong experience doon sa isang hotel sa Manila. So siguro yung iba doon mga walang ginagawa or nandoon na so parang empleyado sila. Si Normiswari, no? Si Commander Normiswari. Sa lobby ng hotel, ang dami niyang bodyguard, siguro mga more or less mga almost 100 katao, tapos siguro sinusulduhan yun ng arm. Mangyari pa ba yun sa bar na ang dami namang bodyguard na parang wala silang ginagawa. Ano lang sila, sunod lang kay Miswari.
Sa ngayon, nakikita pa ang pansin natin ngayon is more or less, hindi naman siguro ganong karami, pero in some way, meron pa rin ganong practice, no? Kasi may mga laws tayo ang pinapasa ngayon sa parliament, like giving allowances to the mujahideen, no? So yun yung mostly doon are members of the MILF. No? Then hiring the ustads or asatids, this is the plural for the ustads, as tawag dyan, parang teachers in different schools as Arabic teachers. So yung mga ganun lang na mga bagay.
Yung maraming nagsasabi na ang totoo ba yung ARM dati o ngayong BARN, hindi daw yung budget nila hindi ba subject ng Commission on Audit. Sa BARN mayroon ba kayong sariling Commission on Audit na yung budget mismo kailangan ma-audit, no? Dahil dati daw sinasabi natatakot mag-audit sa ARM dahil ganito. Sa BARN ba mayroon bang Commission on Audit din doon?
Meron pa rin, no? Although yung the intention of the MILF was for them to create their own Commission on Audit, Commission on the Civil Service Commission, and even their own Bangsamoro Police, no? But this has been abrogated or rather deleted from the past by Congress, no? From the proposal, tinanggal ito ng Congress. So ngayon, it is still the Commission on Audit, the Constitutional Commission on Audit, the Constitutional Commission on Election, and the Civil Service that has jurisdiction over the ARMM. Hindi naman po totoo na mayroon kaming sariling mga commissions na yan.
Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you. Attorney, ang realization natin, for example, I think, is for example, when you talk about the performance, kanina we discussed the performance of the students, no? Parang siguro talagang mahirap i-transition before, no? I mean, you also need qualified teachers to teach students and stuff like that, no? And then maybe the manpower at a certain point is not available yet, no? So kailangan talaga I think I can understand because walang budget eh. How can you hire the right people with the wrong budget? Di ba? Parang ganon. So, what do you think? Ang hirap kasi we want to really develop the entire country at the end of the day. And we need to start with the least, the regions that are poorest. We really need to go there and really bring in resources. Sa tingin mo, what is our hope for BARM and in the transition, and then how can we combat really poverty and, di ba, powerlessness ng mga tao sa region. What do you think are the solutions?
Dito sa amin, I think dalawa lang. Education sector and also the agricultural and fishery sector.
Agriculture and fisheries.
Because if we can improve our agriculture by adding value to our product, at least may improve yung lives ng mga farmers and also fishermen. And if pagkakaroon kami talaga ng willpower yung aming mga teachers na hindi lang pass all, talagang pag hindi naman dapat ipapasa si student, i-retain mo, siguro mag-i-improve natin yung education. Pero as of now kasi, when I was still the Secretary of Education, ang pansin ko, lahat pass all. Sabi ko, bakit ba to? Ano nangyayari? Bakit nyo pinapasa lahat? Kahit hindi naman mabumamatay. Sabi nila aawayin sila ng parents. So parang kasi, hindi pa rin namin, hindi pa na talagang nabibigyan ng importansya ng aming mga tao na yung education. Parang to them, it's just a matter of able to read, write, but not really yung parang it's not really the seriousness of the matter, ba parang hindi nila binibigyan talaga ng importansya since may defect yung aming employment system, no? Kasi pwede ka naman ma-hire pala nang hindi ka namang pumasa ng civil service or kahit fake naman yung records mo or kahit hindi ka naman totoong pumasa ng college, pwede ka naman para pumasok ng government employment. So, parang is a systemic problem talaga here.
Yeah. Pero, sige Edward, yes.
So yung ano lang, follow-up question ka na to.
Yes.
Yung quality of education dahil importante yon. Sinabi mo kanina yung of course hindi mga top performers no karamihan dahil ano naman ginagawa ng BAR no or yung sa ARM na para ma-improve yung quality of education lalo na doon sa mga dahil mag-reflect din sa mga teachers, di ba? Yung quality of education.
Noong panahon namin, in-address muna namin yung absenteeism ng teachers. Kasi talagang maraming teachers na absent. So, in-address namin yun. Tapos, in-increase namin yung motivation nila to teach, to go to school. No? Binayaran namin yung kanilang mga utang. Tapos, Nato, tayo yung nagpauna nung bago pa man lang naisipan ng DepEd National na pautangin yung teachers sa land bank instead na doon sa 5-6. Tayo yung nauna dito sa ARM, no, nung panahon natin. Kinausap namin yung land bank na iba-buy out nila doon sa mga creditors, yung mga utang ng teachers. Para yung teachers, doon na lang siya magbabayad sa land bank. Running, anong tawag dyan? Yung parang amortization.
Yes.
They are paying the principal and the interest at the same time. So, ang rate was only 7% compared to the 20% na inutang nila sa kanilang mga private creditors. So in a sense, kasi may mga teachers, may utang ka ng 500,000. Yung interest nun at 10%.
Is 60,000. Oh my God.
Laki.
Grabe.
So, malaking tulong yung ginawa namin na silang ba ang magbabayad sa kanya ng 500,000. Tapos, i-deduct na lang ni Land Bank yung from his salary. Tapos, binigyan pa namin because there is a national law saying that the take-home pay of teachers should not be less than 5,000. So, in the end, meron siyang 5,000. At the same time, lahat ng utang niya nababayaran.
So, ang laki pala no, yung utang
Grabe.
mismo nagkaka-apekto. Yung naman, yung mga basic trainings and seminars sa mga teachers, ginawa din.
Ginawa namin yon dahil nga doon sa grant from the Australian government. No? So lahat ng teachers in science, teachers in math, teachers in English, teachers in Filipino, nagkaroon sila lahat ng training. Lahat ng principal na train namin on school management. Lahat ng supervisor, i-train namin. So, noong panahon lang natin na nagkaroon kami ng mga supervisor na pinaten namin dyan sa senior Inotech, no? Nagpadala kami ng mga supervisors namin dyan for training. And we are happy na hanggang ngayon napapakinabangan nila yung kanilang mga training. Although unfortunately, may mga 1 or 2 or even up to 5 na ina-appoint as supervisor noon or na-designate as supervisor noon, napalitan na ngayon. Pinalit sa kanila mga teacher 1 lang or mga teacher 3 ganyan. So, parang naulit-ulit. Instead na in-increase na namin yung kanilang determination, motivation, parang ngayon na disheartened sila ulit.
Parang the way I see it, Attorney Edward, it's really an investment not just in financial resources but really a commitment by government, even the regional government, to really kumbaga address the issues at hand. No? Ibig sabihin, ito ay long-term commitment. Nung nag-umpisa kayo, Attorney, I think talagang mahirap because from zero parang gano'n from zero to going towards something from nothing, di ba? Parang ang hirap.
Ako, sabi ko nga, I was surprised when Governor Mujib talked to me na sinasabi, Jam, ikaw na muna dyan. Kasi I am a lawyer, although lawyer, wala naman akong background sa education. No? But then sabi ko, baka wala naman akong alam sa education. Sabi ko, hindi naman kailangan ng dyan. Ang kailangan dyan is ayusin natin yung sistema natin dyan. So, ang una kong ginawa is napakahirap yun kasi nagkaroon kami ng several division offices in one province. Yes. Sa national, only one division office for one province. Ang ginawa dito sa amin, ginawang 2. So, to accommodate yung mga political considerations. So, ginawa namin, inisa namin ulit. Nag-file sila ng case sa Marawi City. On my way back to Cotabato, naambus pa tayo. Pusin na lang, walang nangyari sa atin.
Bihira.
Okay, grabe.
Grabe.
So, it's really...
In the end, really, it's really the good intention of the leadership. If there is really a good intent to improve things, especially with the budget that the ARMM have now, I think hindi naman mahirap na ayusin ito. Pero kailangan talaga lang yung sincere ang government, sincere ang leadership, na kahit sinong masagasaan niya, kahit may mga temporary setbacks yan o mga mahihurt yan, panandalian, I think, the ICD on the ball ka nga, di ba? Ba talaga gusto ng ARMM? Gusto ba namin na panatalihin lang namin yung aming sarili sa posisyon or gusto rin namin talaga iangat yung kabuhayan dito sa amin?
Last question na lang. Kanato.
Sige po.
Last question, Attorney Jamar, do you think BARN is the final solution to armed conflict and development sa area ninyo sa BARN?
I think ako, right from the start, personally, I was of the opinion na we do not need to become independent. Because if we will becoming independent, we will be forced to tax our people. Wala naman kaming oil, wala naman kaming national or regional industry as of now. So in the end, if we are going to aspire for the next level, which is statehood, ay hirapan din kami. So it's the most practical thing is to be satisfied with what we have now, no? Or maybe the next level would be a federal form of government. We will become a federal state still under the Republic of the Philippines. I think that would be the most that we could have. That will be beneficial to us then. And of course, the interest of the nation will not be affected as well.
Thank you very much, Atty. Salamat.
I mean, we'd like to thank you, Attorney Jamar. I mean, marami dapat tayong matututunan.
Marami akong natutunan.
Ako din.
Yung discussion natin.
It's ang daming kailangang I mean, there's so much to do. There's still so much to do.
Yung guest natin, ang marami tayong natutunan.
And then to think na ang siyempre special case man ang BARM because of the special characteristic of the region itself, no. And the historical context, alam naman natin na talagang malalim ang Bangsamoro historical context. They were here before the Philippines was, di ba? So talagang there should be respect for the self-determination, and this is one avenue for self-determination.
So, clarification lang. Clarification. So yung BARN hindi yun na parang form of federal system of government. Gusto ko lang i-clarify dahil I am also an advocate of federalism. Yung BARN itself is not a form of a federal government.
It's not. It's still just an autonomous government.
Region,
no? But
within the Philippine territory. Yeah.
it can take off from here, no? If we are going to establish, for example, a federal form of government for the country, we can learn many things from BARM, or even the setup of the BARM can be implemented as well in the different regions. Maybe without the necessarily of federating, no? Siguro pag binigyan lahat ng regions natin ng block grant din tulad ng ARM, I think kahit hindi tayo mag-federal, baka mag-improve din ng kanya-kanyang regions ang mga kababayan natin.
Okay.
Daghang salamat, Attorney. Daghang salamat.
Thank you very much, Attorney.
Thank you for having
So, mga kasama, that was Attorney Jamar Kulayan. No? Napakaganda ng mga insights natin coming from BARM, and there's so much to learn, and it is a challenge still, no, para sa buong Pilipinas, bukod sa region, bukod sa ating mga kapatid na Bangsamoro. Napakalaki pang challenge po na we should all pitch in, we should all help, no. Ika nga, this show encourages yung pagkakaroon, encourage healing, national healing also sa buong Pilipinas dito para sa bayan sa POLPHIL. So with that, again, we'd like to thank our guest.
Siguro
yes.
Yung parting statement ni Attorney.
Oo. Yes, Attorney. Before we let you go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kuya Nato, Sir Edward, for having me. We hope that the Bangsamoro will be using for better benefit of everyone whatever we have gained from the Bangsamoro organic flow to the MILF. And we also hope that the other regions might as well learn from our mistakes or from whatever benefits that we are having right now that they can use in their own region to help really our country move forward.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney.
Salamat, ha?
Daghang salamat. So, you've been watching Para sa Bayan with Nato Agbayani and Edward Ligas. And of course, Professor Girlie Amarillo is now on vacation.
In Bohol.
In Bohol. So, see you next week with our guest. Daghang salamat kaayo from Cebu City. Duha kaming from Cebu karon, broadcasting from Cebu. Thank you, and this has been Para sa Bayan with POLPHIL. Good night. Mayong gabi.
Good night. Mayong gabi.
Bye. Ugmata, ha?
Ugma.
Okay ra. Okay, good night everyone.
Good night,
Para sa Bayan. Thank you.
Thank you.